Ithaca Pan-Asian American Film Festival is important because it represents Asian Americans who are seldom represented in media. And I feel that like having their stories showcased is important, especially like in this time period.
I think it's important in the grander sense, just because when do you ever get to see an Asian American film festival at all in this area? Upstate New York, not the most diverse area in the world, so to see a space in the arts, especially in film, dedicated to Asian Americans and dedicated to people whose histories are often overlooked when we're talking about American history, I think that's really powerful, and it's something that I think hopefully people can connect to.
You know, it's a really difficult barrier to break. You know, to feel like that the Asian American community is represented enough and fairly, and so I think for me one of the biggest barriers is not to just think about the end product of representation, but then also authorship and wanting to make sure that that there are people of color who are telling these stories and not just in front of camera, because in writing and directing, you know, you get more nuanced perspectives and it feels more human, it feels more lived in, and I think that for me, like, that's what I hope to inspire with my work, is just more creators of color.
Awesome. When Asian Americans are represented, they're like not represented well sometimes, and I feel like it's kind of gotten better, but not better. I feel like in the past, Asian American representation was like non-existent or just straight up racist, whereas like with people in either like in yellowface or like pretending to be Chinese or Japanese or something by pulling their eyes back with tape. And now it's more like, I feel like it's gone like completely different, where instead of pretending to be Asian or whatever, they'll like with movies like Great Wall and stuff, it's like Matt Damon's not Asian at all, but like, you know, he's just like a white insert in like an Asian movie, which is kind of like, so things have changed, but not for the better,
I feel like it could be a lot better and a lot more. And just because there's more doesn't mean it's going to be good. It has to start with a good story and centering around the individual, and just not stereotypical against kung fu, all these Asians, you know. But yeah, just good stories for good people, because they're just regular people like you and me, so.
Okay, my name is Iris. I'm from Singapore.
Hi, my name is Chris Park from Korea. South Korea.
No, good call.
South Korea.
I'm actually from here in Ithaca. Well, actually, I established the team when I was back at school in Cornell in 2013. So I just did that because I moved here from Korea when I was 4, and I didn't really know too much about my Korean heritage or background, so I figured, like, you know, artistic way, that would be a cool way to learn more about it. And so I started a team, and surprisingly a lot of students were also interested in that culture, so that's how the team started.
We just bring the dances that has actual meanings from Korean traditional like themes, and we just trying to show as much as possible to the audience, like to like meanings within. Of course, like we cannot like 100% understand or like interpret it by for you guys, but just if you get like a little part of the meaning within, that's all we get satisfied.
Actually, on top of that, in terms of media, I think that traditional dance or traditional anything, especially from Korea these days when everything's being so, crazy with everything, modernization, that it's often lost, especially through media, because there's the whole K-pop and K-drama and so much new things going on in terms of technology and modernization. So, traditional-wise, it's getting lost in there. But we're hoping that here overseas, where there is still K-pop going on, that we can still remind people that there is still tradition there.
I would say a lot of Asian Americans use hip hop as almost like a counter space to help express themselves and help themselves break stereotypes. So I would say IPAAFF in itself is obviously also a counter space that helps break stereotypes. So I would say the two and two go hand in hand. I would say a lot of Asian Americans use hip hop to definitely be on that like new wave, but still be in touch with their like traditional roots and what have you.
Academic panel for the IPAAFF, which is the Ithaca Pan Asian American Film Festival. Hi guys. So first to start out with, my name is Angela Poppenbaugh. I am a junior from Ithaca College and I'll be facilitating this. And here we have a bunch of people who have been adopted, and we're going to talk about topics from personal experiences to in a kind of personal information for people that are looking to adopt or people that are curious about it, and kind of just a lot of the stereotypes and kind of break those. And yeah, and if anyone else has questions, we'll open it up at the end. But first, let's get some introductions. You want to start, Carolyn?
Oh, sure. Hi, I'm Carolyn. I'm adopted from Vietnam, and I'm a junior IMC Integrated Marketing Communications major at Ithaca College.
Hi, I'm Sarah Ithaca. I'm a local textile artist, and I was adopted from Korea.
I'm Zue Adams. I'm adopted. I was adopted when I was 4 years old. I'm from China. I'm an occupational therapy major, African Diaspora Studies minor.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Hall. I go to Ithaca College, and I'm an occupational therapy major.
Hi, I'm Emily Quinn. I was adopted from China at 3 months, and I still go to Ithaca College. I'm a graduate student in physical therapy. I think like one of the biggest things, and I think this relates to a lot of different identity groups, is the language, and the language that's used. So even if there's good intentions, sometimes the language itself can be very offensive. And so I think some of the really big things, instead of like real family and stuff like that, or like real siblings, definitely like biological or adoptive siblings is a huge thing for me. And I think that like it's fine when people like here's like if they're asking, would you ever want to meet your biological parents and stuff like that? Like to me, that's not really offensive, as long as the language is usually more correct. It's not as bad for me.
I feel like if somebody just like saw me with my parents and they brought it up, they'd say, "Oh, are you adopted?" And I'll say, "Yes." They'll say, "That's so cool," or something. Like I don't really like when people do that. Like if I mention it and I say I'm adopted and they want to continue the conversation, then I'm usually fine with it. But if they just kind of like bring it up out of the blue, it makes me kind of uncomfortable.
Okay, so like a few things that you should not ask. Obviously, like in my high school, so I guess it just so happened that for like white middle high school, there weren't many people that were adopted. So I remember this one guy, I was talking to him and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm adopted." He's like, "Oh, you're adopted? Oh, that sucks." And I'm like, "Oh," I was like, "Okay." And then he was like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that. I mean, whatever." And I'm like, okay. And then this other girl, I don't think she meant to be offensive, but I told her like I was adopted. She's like, "Whoa, I've never had an adopted friend. What's it like?" And like, it's not bad because it is like different, but in my mind I was more like, oh, like well, I mean, it's just like she had. So, yeah. That's all.
Yeah, I think everyone like kind of hit everything that I would say, but I guess it all like goes back to this idea of like, or it goes back to people's ideas or conceptions of what adoption is. So I think one of the main things is like people feel sorry for you. They think it's something like a travesty, which is very offensive. Another one is I've actually had this from the Asian community, like my Asian friends, thinking that I was like used as a slave. You know, like you think of like these stories of like Cinderella, or like these stories of like where children are like adopted or are part of like a family that isn't genetically related to them, and they're often, you know, these stories often pin them as, you know, somebody to do the chores. Like I literally had somebody say that, oh, like, so you had to sweep a lot? You know, so yeah, that's one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very, very true. I think also the media sort of portrays like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt as sort of like these. Now I have somebody from each country. Now I'm like, I don't know, it's sort of like, no, these are people, and also like it's important to kind of keep up the heritage too that they come from. And I think like similar with like the sort of Harry Potter as well, like kind of like putting you in the like literally in the closet, right?
Yeah.
Or like kind of Superman kind of idea, or maybe Spider-Man, or some of them, some of the heroes are adopted, so sort of like you have to be this like awesome person, kind of or like superhuman to. Right. I don't really know how. Yeah, so I think that's very valid.
Or like not.
Or not human. Yeah, yeah. I think one other element too, in terms of like looking at who's like, or not, I guess like feeling lucky. Some people say like, oh my God, you're so lucky. And it's like, I don't know. Sometimes it's cool. Like I have like a lot of opportunities here, but I also really like the orphanage, which is really weird. I probably shouldn't like the orphanage, but like I don't know. There's like a lot of different kind of elements of that, I guess. And it's sort of like I love like my Chinese heritage and stuff. So I think sometimes people sort of like think I'm not one enough, not either Asian enough to be in either of these categories, or I'm not American enough, or something like that. So I think that's an important element. One other thing, sorry, is I think it's important to maybe have people not say like, what did you do wrong? Some people have told me that when I was younger, and that really, really hurts. So probably don't say that to people who are adopted. That'd be good.
And we have a special word from one of the founding mothers of IPAAFF, Katie Kwan.
Or good things come in threes, right? And so I'm so happy that this is the third Ithaca Pan-Asian American Film Festival. And I think being here and sort of seeing how it's developed, there are now three things I've seen in terms of values that it's carried on from day one and now. So one is language. One of the big things that we have, or one of the big things that has carried on is definitely language, and not just language through explanations or like subtitles, but the Ithaca Pan-Asian American Film Festival gives us the language to really express our oppressions as well as our freedom. So, and then two is community, and you all being here today really shows that there's a very warm and welcoming community willing to help and serve everyone around us. And then three is accessibility. The fact that IPAAFF is still free to the public means that there's no boundaries, no borders, and no walls. And so being able to sort of see these, that we're not boxed into our own sort of spaces, and instead we're allowing people to come into our own spaces for not only our stories, but for a better future.
All right, and now we have a performance from JL, if he wants to come up to the front. All right, guys, and I hope you enjoy.
I've had it, dump this shit. I give up, man, that's it. But then I think about my parents and they sacrifice just so I can have a shot at paradise. The lavish like the baddest wife, and I know that they care for me. But I'm scared to see their faces when they find that I feel the beat. Heir to the family business, tremendous pressure on a kid with artistic intentions. Pop would always mention the importance of a plan B. Life is not a game of snake, you gotta make ends meet. Damn, that's deep. That makes you ponder, man. I try to tell my friend Walt, but he don't understand. He got that trust fund, they really live a rough one. And every other night, he be binging with a +1. Man, he should told me that Thirsty Thursdays is going down. Shit, I don't drink, but I think I'll pour my heart another round. And lately I would wonder if nobody was around. And my boys dropped, could I still say I made it sound? But fuck it, I ain't doing this for recognition, no commissions up the telly. I'm just trying to share my vision. If you praise it or you hate it, either way I fucking made it. I ain't trying to sell a single piece of music I created. All the statement I can quote it might be broke, but I'm devoted. The passions of a poet, and it's time I fucking show it. And I know it's only right to tell the world what I'm about. Pack my bags and head it out. Ain't no room to carry doubts, and I'm ghosts. There's a couple of lines from the last two songs that really relate to this next song, right? From that last song, I don't know if y'all heard, there was a line about when I think about my parents and they sacrificed just so I can have a shot at paradise. That's something that every child of an immigrant has in the back of their mind forever. Reason being is because your parents uprooted their lifestyle, whether they were rich or poor, they all came to America with nothing. They don't know the language, they don't got no friends, they don't got nothing. But with one thing in mind, is for you to have a better life.
And the hope that you provide, may you always be satisfied. The only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. Of a stranger, things you never knew,
What you need to do is be thankful for the life that you got, you know what I'm saying? Stop looking at what you ain't got. Start being thankful for what you do got. Let's get a little baby girl.
Gonna be shining star, fancy clothes, fancy cars. Then you'll see you're gonna go far, cause everyone knows it's who you are. So live your life, hey. Instead of chasing that paper, just live your life, hey. Never no haters, just live your life anymore. It's enough.